Earl Campbell was relentless. Nicknamed the Tyler Rose, Campbell grew up idolizing Dick Butkus and would follow in his hero's footsteps, playing linebacker from 6th grade until his junior year of high school, when his coach switched him to running back. Despite not wanting to make the move, Campbell would oblige and adjusted seamlessly, rushing for over 2,000 yards en route to a 15-0 record and a state championship. He would be heavily recruited by several high-profile schools, but ultimately chose to stay close to home and committed to the University of Texas, where he wasted no time making a name for himself, rushing for 928 yards and 6 touchdowns his freshman year. He would more than double his touchdown total the following season and would go on to lead the nation in rushing as a senior, racking up a ridiculous 1,744 yards and 19 touchdowns, production that would earn him the Heisman Trophy, making him the first University of Texas player to win the award. He would declare for the 1978 draft, where he was taken first overall by the Houston Oilers, who had traded up to get him. He would reward the investment and began paying dividends immediately, accumulating 329 yards and 4 touchdowns across his first 3 games, one of which was a 73-yard scamper in his debut. He was quickly establishing himself as a premier running back in the league and became the focal point of the Oilers' offense. With both his production and reputation steadily growing, Campbell would formally ascend into superstardom after his performance on Monday night, when he faced off against the Miami Dolphins, a game in which he ran for 199 yards and 4 touchdowns. He would maintain his dominance throughout his rookie year, and finished with a league-leading 1,450 yards. He also had 13 touchdowns, and would not only be named Offensive Rookie of the Year, but would also be crowned Offensive Player of the Year. Campbell also propelled the Oilers to a deep playoff run, which unfortunately ended in the AFC Championship against the Steelers. The following season would be Campbell's most decorated. He would not only lead the league in rushing and win Offensive Player of the Year again, but he would also lead the league in rushing touchdowns and be named NFL MVP. Unfortunately, Campbell suffered an injury heading into the playoffs, forcing him to miss the divisional round, which the Oilers still managed to win. He would try to give it a go in the championship game, but it would be too much to overcome, and Houston would once again be eliminated from Super Bowl contention at the hands of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Despite the loss, Campbell held his head high and would go on to have his best year as a pro in 1980, rushing for a staggering 1,934 yards and 13 touchdowns, both of which led the league. He also captured his 3rd consecutive Offensive Player of the Year award and rushed for over 200 yards 4 times, a single-season record that still stands today. However, the Oilers would once again bow out of the playoffs. Only this time, they would suffer an exit in the wild card round. The lack of playoff success would unfortunately continue to be a theme throughout Campbell's career, and he was never able to reach the postseason again after 1980. He would have 2 more productive seasons in Houston before his punishing running style and immense workload caught up with him. With his skills diminishing, he would eventually be traded to the New Orleans Saints midway through the 1984 season, where he lasted 1 more year before throwing in the towel. He would retire only 600 yards short of reaching 10,000 and considered making a return to clear the mark, but his body wouldn't cooperate. Even with a relatively brief career, Campbell would be inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1991. And while his style of play didn't lend itself to longevity, there is no denying that he was an absolute force when healthy. And in my opinion, his first 3 seasons put him in the discussion for one of the best starts to an NFL career. He picked up yards at will and had a penchant for showing up in crunch time, routinely accumulating many of his yards in the 4th quarter. While both Jim Brown and John Riggins have valid cases for being the most powerful, Campbell sets the bar in terms of physicality. He played offense with a defender's mentality and always chose to run through people rather than around them. I want to thank you for watching, and I would love to hear about who you think the most physical backs of all time are.